Hey, it's Rosemary here. How you doing? Now, it was the early 90s, I think it was, and we'd just gone through another armed robbery attack in the middle of the night. It had become such a regular thing. It was, my mom had been taken around the house. She'd been beaten up as the robbers sought to get as much money and valuables as they could make her give them, ultimately, as they took her around the house. My dad, he felt very helpless as he listened to the cries of my mom, but his spinal cord injury and complete paralysis from his neck down prevented him from actually doing anything to stop it. Although what would he have done? He'd just be the one being carried around being beaten. The male carer as well has been told to hide in the ceiling because we didn't want the robbers to find him in case they thought he was too big and would attack them. So we didn't want any harm to come to him. Whereas the rest of us were all huddled up in our bedroom, waiting for this current crazy episode to be over and praying hard that no one would be permanently hurt this time. There was fear in everybody's heart, definitely in mine. And so it was hardly any surprise that my parents decided to ask in the local juju person, to come give us a potion to ensure our safety going forward. Except we were supposed to be a Christian family. Surely we didn't do such things, right? Now the carer mentioned that the potion had been put into our breakfast cereal that morning, so I made a decision not to actually eat that breakfast. Now, why do I bring up all of this? There are fears that we all face. That for me was one of the big ones. And because of that fear, my parents decided to leave some of their values behind in order to get somebody else's help. They felt like, okay, maybe we just need to look elsewhere for support. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we want to, circumvent what we know to be true, hoping that if we did some other magic something, then everything would be fine. Except it doesn't work. There's a reason you chose. There's a reason. You need to look at some of your fears, ultimately. You need to look at some of your fears. I share this story with you because it did make me afraid. It made me afraid. But there are certain fears that we have to look at in order for us to live the life that we're actually born to live. Okay? So number one here is fear of letting go of your current life or lifestyle. For too long, I held on to the concept of being a pharmacist, and then I held on long to actually being a pharmacist because it seemed more secure, it seemed more predictable, and it was the reasonable thing to do, especially for someone like me that was afraid of, somebody taking my money away from me because I'd lived through all of those experiences, okay? But the thing is that I wanted a more fulfilled existence, and pharmacy didn't do it for me. But the thing is that there would be no more until I let go of my current existence. You have to create space for the more, and that can be scary. Fear tells you that what you have is good enough, but you should just be thankful and settle for it. But this is the thing: deliberate people, we let go. We make the transition even though we're afraid. We step out little by little from the comfort zone until we get to where we want to go. Or we take the leap all at once. I've had to take the leap all at once on many occasions. It doesn't matter which way it's done as long as it is done. Affirm with me. My best is yet to come. There are much better things ahead for me. Second fear that you have to face is the fear of your higher power's intention. This was something I suppose in some ways my parents didn't face. Instead, they went looking for a black magic dude, basically, because they felt that could help more. But what if instead you face up to the fact that maybe there's some fear of abandonment? For me, I know for a long time I was scared that if I completely surrendered to my higher power, then I'd be forced to do things that I didn't want to do. Or he wouldn't keep me safe, or who knows what, all kinds of things. I'd have to, kill off my child in order to prove my loyalty or something, maybe exaggerating a little bit there. But whichever way, there was an internal fear that I didn't really face. And so I held back. I refused to listen to those intuitive nudges. I kept living from my experience, which meant I kept my experience. I kept being capped. Now, deliberate people know that the things they desire in their heart of hearts have been planted in them by their creator, so they will never be asked to do what they don't actually want to do. But you only find this out by deliberately facing the fear of thinking that you will be asked to do things you don't want to do. They may be afraid of taking action, okay? So the intuitive nudge that comes through might be something that is a little bit scary, but you will know that it's taking you to what you actually desire, okay? And that's absolutely fine. So affirm with me here. The divine has plans to prosper me, to give me hope and a great future. Okay? Third thing to face, fear that you are alone. Somewhere deep inside, even though you claim to be spiritual, you may fear that actually you are alone and that it's all a figment of your imagination, particularly if you've been through a hard time and you felt abandoned. I mentioned this a little bit. And so you live from logic and reason and experience because you think you have to. Yes, you have the words, you show up at your religious organization, but ultimately you fear that you're just alone and you're just making it all up, ultimately. And that fear keeps you trapped within your experience to date, again, and that of people, or the experience of people that have taught you. You can't trust the intuitive nudge because you think it's just you, and so you stay stuck. Seeming miracles, this is the thing to realize, is that miracles only happen when you trust that deep wisdom within you, trust it enough to actually act on it. Do whatever you need to do to heal this false separation wound that you have about, oh, I'm separate from I'm alone, ultimately. Any of that, you just need to heal that. It's critical, because if not, you get up to a cap and you can't seem to go past it. So affirm with me, I have an unfair advantage. I know I am not alone. I did a video about that not so long ago. I have an unfair advantage. I know I am not alone. 4. Fear. The fourth fear is fear of other people's intentions. I learned early on to be wary of people, even the ones that loved me, okay? They sometimes did things to hurt me, and they might even have thought that it was for my own good. Cousins got my confidence, and then they would report whatever I said to them to my parents, who then punished me for just sharing what I was thinking. Friends deserted me when some other person seemed to be more able to get them what they wanted, basically. Trusted adults proved to be very untrustworthy in their dealings with me and with other people. And all of these things made me very untrusting of people. The problem arises when you're always looking for the catch, though. When someone is nice to you and you're looking for the catch, or an opportunity comes and you're looking for the catch. You can't see a good opportunity when it's staring you in the face because you're scared of the intentions of some person or the other person. You hide away, worried that everyone is out to get you in some way. That was my life for a long time, okay? I had to heal. So affirm with me, nothing and no one can keep me away from what is mine. So I choose to show up fully in the world expecting good things. Again, nothing, no one can keep me away from what is mine. So I choose to show up fully in the world expecting good things. The 5th fear that you need to face is the fear of trusting yourself. For a few years after going bankrupt, I couldn't trust myself. I felt I was a mistake-making machine, and so I didn't act on any intuitive nudges. I didn't pursue any of my vision. I just gave up on myself, okay, and did the bare minimum that I could to get by. Not good. The truth is, your vision is not giving you to taunt you. You have what it takes to bring it all to life, as long as you choose to take action. I didn't take action for a while until I finally woke up and chose to step onto the deliberate life path, one that followed my true design. Mistakes do happen. They're not who you are, though, okay? So affirm with me, I am born for more, and I am exactly the person to bring it to life. Number 6, fear of exposure. As a result of my early years, I learned how to protect myself, stay hidden, put on a front. Building a vision, however, demands that you allow your true self to show up, and that has always been hard for me. I was so scared that I wouldn't be acceptable, or even that people would come out of the woodwork and get me. And so I just wanted to talk at people rather than share my heart with people. I've overcome this a lot, as I do tend to reveal a lot about myself if I feel it will support somebody else's growth. But there's still room for more. There's still room for being my vulnerable self, okay? And knowing that it doesn't take anything away from me. And knowing that ultimately, whatever anybody wants to do with it, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't actually matter. Nobody can take my good away from me, as we already said, right? Too many people would rather stay hidden and not live out their true vision than expose their hearts, even on social media. In fact, particularly on social media. I see people using icons or random pictures instead of their actual face as their profile picture. And I know in some ways it may not matter, but in some ways it does. It also says something about you shielding your heart, okay? It is the world we live in, whether we like it or not. I know it's not always something that you're used to, but it's the world we live in. Okay, when it's fear stopping you from doing something, then you need to question that. When that fear of exposure is getting in the way of you properly showing up, because we are going to a world where a lot of our dealings will be over the internet. What are you going to do then? This is especially for people who have a message, or you want to start up an entrepreneurial venture or something like that, and then you allow these fears to stop you from moving forward. This is the thing, you're going to have to handle this stuff. You're going to have to heal this stuff. You're going to have to learn to trust that it'll be fine. And that whatever happens, you can handle it anyway. And other times I see people refusing to get any support because, again, they want to put up this front of having it all together. I know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And I was that person too, until I realized it's not getting me where I want to go. So all of this fear, I need to handle it. I can no longer make decisions from fear. Neither can you. So affirm with me. Nothing, no one can take what is mine from me. So I can show my true self boldly. Every good thing comes to me now. Okay? And then the final fear that you need to face, okay, if you're committed to moving forward powerfully, is the fear that the vision is too big. Yes, it may seem very huge from your limited perspective. However, it's not true. You are exactly the person to bring your vision to life as long as you choose to commit to it. Your vision wasn't given to you to taunt you. It is yours to create. So the question is, will you choose to commit to your vision? Affirm with me. I am capable of my calling and I choose to live it out now. And there you have it. 7 fears to give up if you want a life of abundance, of freedom, of fulfillment. I call that the deliberate life. If you want to explore the deliberate life more, then step 1 is to read or listen to a free copy of my book, Pray, Affirm, Receive. How to get clear, stay clear, and take action to get what you want out of life. It's at rosemarynonnynight.com/book gift. Much amazing love. Until the next time. Bye.